Bushbanter Ep5. We interview an IBL legend. Hope you enjoy.
As we go. So
Well, I thought I was coming on to TSN, so someone's getting fired.
your PR person fucked up, man. Welcome to the biggest Bush cast we actually had to date. We got a big special guest, but I guess first off, we'll introduce some of the Bushmen here. Ray, are you in the house?
I am in the house, gentlemen. Hello, Mr. Riley. Nice to meet you.
You too. Good to be here.
E. Hill, are you in the building?
I am in the building.
Yes, guy.
Welcome,
And
Mr.
Hagers.
Riley.
I'm here.
There he is. And then finally, like I said, our special guest. This is a 22-year veteran of the IBL, a member of the IBL Top 100, four-time MVP since 2011. These career totals are going to kind of blow you away, not to stroke you off too bad here, Riles. 202 home runs, first all-time, 784 RBI, first all-time, 158 doubles, yeah, that's first all-time, and games played 767. I'm almost damn sure that's first all-time. A champ with Guelph in 2004. Mr. Sean Riley, are you in the building?
I am here. Thanks to be here, boys. I got the Bush light, right?
I like it.
So I got to watch,
Yeah.
I gotta watch my weight.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I'm G. Hill, and I'm also in the building drinking that Bush. Perfect. Well, welcome to it. I guess we'll sort of dive in here. So, on my basic deep dive into Google search, looks like you're from the hometown of Guelph, Ontario. Is that correct, sir?
I was actually born in Hamilton, Ontario, believe it or not. I lived there till I was about 10. I moved to Burlington when I went to high school, and that's actually where I was drafted from.
Right.
I started my career in Hamilton with the Cardinals when I came back from the minor leagues with Minnesota. And after a few years, I ended up going to Guelph, played there for a few years, and since then I've kind of been all over the place. So
I was going to say
everybody in this league.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like you played on Hamilton, Guelph, Barrie, Toronto, and Kitchener.
Oh.
And Toronto. Yep, that's right.
Nice. Yeah. And so I guess diving back there, so drafted by the Twins in 95, I saw that you were a pitcher back then.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was. I was about 6'3", 155 pounds, just swinging it from the left side, lefty poo. But, I always loved hitting. I was always a decent hitter. And then when I came back, I kind of had that opportunity with Hamilton, and things just kind of took off from there.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's great to
Right
hear.
Who's your favorite IBL team?
My favorite IBL team.
Yeah, who did you play? Who like? Well, I guess you're still playing with Guelph.
It's
I guess
tough. You know what? My 1 year, it was an interesting year in Toronto. It was awesome. I had great guys. I am good friends with top labor. It's a year that almost didn't happen. We can kind of dip into that a little bit later, but that year in Toronto was unreal. Yeah. Kitchener, I've had a few years, and Hamilton was a lot of good years too, but for different reasons. There's a lot of partying in my early days. So.
Nice. Well, we want to dive into that, but I thought I'd first, given you already touched on your Toronto experience here. So based on the stats, so did you start in Guelph that year, and then you were traded? 12 games into the season, or how did that work out? Because it looks like you played for the Leafs in the playoffs that year, so I assume you started.
Yeah, so I did actually start that year with Guelph. We had some ownership issues. They ended up firing one of your favorites, Coach Thibault.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he was a good buddy of mine. So I kind of said, well, if he goes, I go. Trade me. After a week or two, finally we put together some of the Leafs. I think they traded like 7 guys for me, and only like 2 guys ended up showing up in Guelph. So that was a little bit of a gong show.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
my
God.
I ended up starting with the Leafs. I still remember my first day. I showed up at the pits, waiting for Jack to show up so I get my uniform. And some homeless guy on a bike drives by. Next thing I know, our first baseman's over there choking him out. I won't name names. Last name up there. But, that was a sign of things to come. And then the game ended with me chasing Jack up and down the hill looking for gas money. He paid me in change. So.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful. So that would have been 2012, it looks like.
13, I think it was. Was it 13? Might have been 12.
Right.
It's a blur. All these years are a blur now.
Yeah, so we ended up, the Bushmen, obviously, we've been really behind this team and with the vocal support for probably the last 4 years. But I do remember watching IBL on Rogers Cable back around then. So was the pits pretty packed back then?
It was. It kind of depended on who the teams were playing, and obviously if it was warm out. And don't get me wrong, it's always 175 degrees at the pits. It doesn't matter
Oh, yeah.
temperature anywhere else.
It's a hot day.
But, yeah, Rogers used to do pretty much all the games. It didn't matter where you went. It's kind of a shame that went away. It was good promotion for all the teams, the league. And, I know the players really enjoyed it. But, yeah, I know Toronto's kind of funny. Like, when they're winning, especially come playoffs, like, I've been there and that bowl's been actually absolutely jammed. So it's a good atmosphere to play in.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we featured a video with the Spolargic home run he gave up in that 2002.
Delfino, my boy Delfino, yeah. Yeah,
What was said?
Yeah,
what was said?
What was said?
What was said? Once again, something I probably can't speak about on here. But you know what? Both those guys, they're good competitors. You know what I mean? They both want to win. And, that's the kind of thing that happens when stuff like that happens, right? Big game, big situation, and your emotions kind of take over. I'm sure if you talk to them now, they probably still speak and are good friends and have a good laugh about it. But it's a good moment for the IBL in general. I know that video's got a lot of hits, pretty much all over the world. So it's good.
For sure.
Well, that's the good thing about the IBL is you get moments like that. Like it's a league where a lot of the personalities are allowed to kind of play out because everyone's kind of like pretty tight knit community.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I keep in contact with, many players from that league. A few guys on Toronto. Obviously, I've been around a lot, so I've accumulated a lot of friendships throughout the year for the years. But, like I said, it's nice to get off the field with some of these guys and share the stories. A lot of them, like I said, cannot be spoken about on the air, which kind of makes that league pretty unique. But I shouldn't say unique, but special.
Right.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it. It's part of the reason why I keep coming back every year is for the guys and, fans like yourself. It's nice that I finally get to put faces to all the guys heckling me down the line.
I guess to that note, that's a good segue. So obviously we kind of started about 3, maybe 4 years ago, but really ramped up 3 years ago. So when was the first time, did you hear of these guys at Christie Pitts heckling before you ever saw us? Or what was your first experience when you first saw a bunch of knuckleheads up there just yelling at you?
Well, I mean, I've been seeing knuckleheads since I first came to the league in '97. It's Toronto, right? So you never know what you're going to get. And, I've always been getting heckled there. But I would say probably a couple years ago, I kind of noticed it. I think it kind of more took off when you started doing the songs and stuff. And I remember Tebow and I looking at each other and go, those guys are pretty cool. I mean, it almost makes it worth the drive and fighting traffic to get up there. I mean, it's nice to be on the winning side. Thankfully, I haven't been heckled too bad. I mean, I'd like to get a song next year as a visitor. That'd be kind of cool.
We don't know about that yet. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, Riley, because we really do try to get under your skin, but you just lay that bat down and clobber those home runs every single time, and there's nothing we can do. We just can't crack you.
Well, dude, I'll be honest. Every time I show up in Toronto, I try to hit the ball to Blue Street. You know what? And if I miss it, a consolation prize is I get to take out a couple soccer players.
100%. So on that note, actually, with the heckling, so given you're, a player coach now, who's the biggest meltdown you've seen courtesy of the Bushmen heckling them on the mound?
Wow. I mean,
there's been a lot.
That's a tough question because, you get the veterans that are kind of used to that kind of thing, right? And a lot of the guys on our team come from pro ball and, they're used to pitching in front of thousands of people and they've had their good days and bad days. But I think it might have been Lawson. It might have been Lawson, I think, last year.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you guys like to get on Lawson. I've seen his name pop up a few times. But he's a competitor, right? When things aren't going right and, he starts getting the heckles from the crowd, especially the way you guys are, he can blow up and he likes to have a temper tantrum here and there. But other than that, you know what? You and I can kind of keep our guys under control and calm. We kind of go up to the mound and say, listen, you know what I mean? They're a bunch of homeless guys, but now since then I've learned you're not. You're actually legit with real jobs.
That's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. We learn our laptops.
Yeah.
The the beauty of it too is just the wide array of heckles. Like, I don't know if you can tell by our voices, but like we each have our own distinct heckling patterns. So, guys don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and you know what? Don't ever stop doing it. It's awesome. Guys talk about it. The league talks about it. Like I said, there's not a lot of good reasons to come to Toronto anymore. And you guys are one of them.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's because it's so much fun. It's like there's like every Sunday. All right, let's just go hang out with some friends, have a couple beers, and watch good baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might as well.
That's kind of what really brings us back, right? It's the fantastic ball. You guys are out there giving it 110%. Christie Pitts is probably not the easiest place to play ball with the nicely compacted cement that they have for an infield and the nice divots in the outfield. So, we love the games. We love what you guys are bringing. And the echo of the bowl is what brings us back.
Well, I tell you what doesn't bring me back is that field. That field's a beast on its own. But that's part of the tradition and kind of the I guess attraction to come to Toronto, because you never know what you're going to get when you come to the pits, right?
I want to know what the toughest hop you've ever had to field off of that ski jump.
Oh my God, it's dude. When I was playing first base there, like it was like playing on concrete, man. And the bounces there, I feel bad for the shortstops and middle infielders that gotta be out there when you got guys like myself and Brownlee hitting missiles up the middle. I mean, I've seen some guys lose some teeth. I mean, I try to allay everything. I don't know if you guys seen Major League. You got to get in front of the ball. Don't allay that. I mean, forget that. You're allaying everything at the pits. You want to have children one day. It's a tough place to play. I mean, there's no warning track. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember Kevin Hinton, who played back in the day. I mean, I saw him do a backward somersault into that fence, and he was no small guy. He was about 300 pounds at the time. There's no warning track, so it just kind of hits you out of nowhere.
No. And there's that trench in, like, I think it's left field that just runs along the outside.
Oh God! I mean, the mound there is 2 meters higher than anywhere else. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. The bullpens. I mean, you get stabbed down there some days, depending on who shows up.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what's the biggest home run you've ever seen hit? You've been in the league for 22 seasons now. Do you remember one off the top of your head?
By myself or in general?
Well, if you're going to pump your own tires, like you hit the biggest home run you've ever seen, then go right ahead.
See, Christie Pitts is a tough place to gauge because the fences are kind of short, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough there. But I've seen some guys, I mean, Randy Curran back in the day, left-handed hitter, he pepper that field up right like all the time. I've seen guys hit some on the top of that the change rooms. I think Castaldo did that 2 years ago. Yeah, like I said, I'm usually just aiming for those soccer players. So if I get one or two of them, I really don't care how far.
You'll live to see another
some
day.
of those people have been hit. It's wild the amount of people that you see sitting under those trees not paying attention to the baseball. And just balls come flying through.
Yeah. So with that sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, batting practice there is the absolute worst. That's why I show up early, because it's my favorite part of the day. Only time you're going to see me show up early to a ballpark.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So with that said, how many more years do you think you got left in the tank there, Riley?
Oh, that's a tough question. I kind of usually go year by year. I kind of had an idea that this might actually be my last year. Closing in on 1,000 hits. I kind of wanted to just kind of get that out of the way. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, with this quarantine stuff, I don't know how you guys are holding up. I mean, I've been a mess. I don't know what day of the week it is. I'm pretty sure I missed my wife's birthday. I've been down there for 3 days. My cat stopped coming around. I mean, it's been tough. So who knows what next year is gonna bring? I'd like to be back. Kind of depends where my career takes me. I'm actually supposed to start with Toronto Fire in the fall. So
oh wow,
nice.
Yeah. I don't. So we'll see. We'll see what time. See what kind of time I have next summer, but I'm not ruling it out.
If you have time next summer in your Toronto Fire, the boys probably got a spot for you as DH.
Yeah, Topley's been saying that for years. You know what? I love my time in Toronto, and if I lived closer, it'd be no doubter. I probably never would have left, but it makes sense for me to be close at home right now. And, I just, at this point in time, I just hope there's baseball again. Right now I'm watching Cornhole on ESPN for guys.
Well, do you think so? That was it. They're thinking there's 6 teams or 5 teams,
Five.
maybe a 20 game in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've kind of heard that as well. Hoping for maybe a July start. I mean, the problem is a lot of cities, we can't even get on the field till the first or second week of July.
Right.
I mean, you're going to start a season so late without any real
training
warming up or training. And the thing is, are players going to want to do this? Are they going to want to come out for a season that really doesn't mean much, risk injury? And I get it. It's good to get out there. It's good stress relief. I know it is for me, and I'm sure the fans want to be out there more than anybody. But you got to do what you got to do. I mean, these are unprecedented times, and let's just get through this. And worst case, we come back stronger in 2021.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
I hear that.
Yeah,
cheers to that. I got a Bush cheers to that.
Yeah,
Positive
definitely
vibes
cheers
from
to
the
that.
Riley.
We love it.
Awesome. Well, I think this has been great. I don't know. Did anyone have any questions for Riles or even Riley? Did you have any maybe stories or stuff you wanted to dive into before?
Oh no, I want to know because you played in the league when there was an Ottawa team, right?
That's right.
How was that bus ride?
I will tell you, if you look back in history, Ottawa by far probably has the best home record in the history of this league. I don't know one team that went up there sober and came back sober.
That's hilarious.
It was a gong show, but it was part of the charm of going to Ottawa because we had a lot of good team bonding. We stayed over in a hotel for sometimes 2 nights over the weekend, and those are obviously stories I cannot talk about right now. But, you know what? I miss them. Like I said, the bus trip kind of made it worth there and staying over with the boys. But
and also the name,
I don't know
Fat
if you
Cat.
have to see them back, but it'd be awesome if they came back. I think the team or this league needs more teams.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, I had a question for you there, Riley. You've been kind of playing with Tebow for a little while now. We're supposed to maybe have an interview with him next week.
Uh-oh.
I gotta know about your time with him in Kitchener, this apparent fight that went down.
Which one? Can we be more?
We need at least one hot take to bring up with him next week.
So I think you're talking about the one against London. It seems like pretty much every brawl in this league's against London. First off. But I think it was after the third out. I'd come in. I was playing first base that day, and I remember reaching over to grab my glove, and I just turned around. I just go, "Uh-oh, here we go." And I look, and there's a big scrum. And at the time, I didn't know exactly what happened. And just talking to T.O. afterwards, I guess the third base coach and him were kind of peeking back and forth at each other, and he kind of said something T.O. didn't like. T.O. called him on it, and the next thing you know, down went the third base coach. And big brawl ensued. I chased one of their imports. I tried to get out, chased them out of the park.
Oh, I see.
It was interesting. It was fun. I mean, nobody likes to get hurt in a brawl, but sometimes things need to happen, and we definitely took care of business that day.
Has he always been like that? Has he always been a firecracker over there?
Yeah, he's calmed down a little bit in his old age, but that's part of the charm of playing for Tebow, right? He's very passionate about the game, passionate about his teammates. He'll go to bat for anybody, and I always love playing for him. Hopefully I get a chance to do that again one day.
That's
what I loved about that fight was the commissioner was like interviewed or whatever after the game. He's like, "Yeah, that was a pretty good fight."
Oh yeah,
that's
I've
the IBL, baby.
That's the IBL. That's right. It's such a funny league. Absolutely.
I love it. Awesome. Well, I thought that was great. Like, again, we'd love to have you on another time. Obviously, with our millions of viewers watching worldwide, they appreciate obviously all this inside IBL scoops, and I hope you're able to do pretty solid there out in Guelph. I hope your family's staying well, and like I said, I hope we can muster up a season, even if it's insignificant. It'd be great to see some ball. I know us here are big fans, and we'd love to see it. And I'm sure people in Guelph and all over southwestern Ontario want to see this league fired back up.
Well, yeah, all you got to do is look at the message boards. I mean, I don't know if you guys are part of the Intercounty fan site and stuff, and people are posting there every day, right? They're looking for answers, what's going to happen. And a lot of times, I mean, myself as a player, I don't even know what's going to happen. They're kind of taking it day by day, just like, you know, the public in terms of their daily lives. They're kind of going on a day-by-day basis right now. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get baseball. You know, obviously, I'd rather play some meaningful baseball. But I think at that point in time, you get late into that year, I mean, people are going to kind of take whatever they can get, right? A little break from reality, you know, a little stress relief, and see some home runs over that left field fence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you doing anything to stay fit, Riley? Do you have anything at home to kind of practice the swing or do anything like that? Or you just kind of
Have you gone for a lift?
Nice.
Have you gone for a lift? Riley?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I should say, you know, kids, you see me chewing, make sure if you're under the age of 14, get your parents' permission before you actually start chewing.
Yes. You're like Smokey
I don't
the
think
Bear.
any children follow us, which is
Yeah.
Except we don't
you
swear.
guys need a lady on here.
Yeah, you're right.
A bush woman.
all of our wives are very confused by what we're doing. So they just let us be.
Well, that's good. I said my wife hasn't seen me in 3 days. I've been hiding in the basement. I think I missed the birthday. But yeah, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, good cast. And I guess on that note, stay safe, Rouse. Chug back a few more Bush, and you know, we'll see you on the next goings arounds, buddy.
Will do, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thanks so
Take
much,
care.
Riley. That was fantastic.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you
you
too.
See you
See you,
later.
bud.